everyone, Katrina here. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, I'm so happy that you stopped by. You are in for a treat today. I'm going over all the journals that I have used in the last almost 11 months. Ones that worked for me, ones that didn't work for me, ones that I will repurpose or at least reuse the paper for another project. So let's get started. This first one I carry in my gallon leather A5 journal cover. I have spoken about this particular brand in other videos. There's not much I can show you because it keeps all of my ideas about my Instagram, YouTube, and now coffee shop over on Coffee, and which I will describe to you in another video. This is just one page I could show you because I was going to use it as a catch-all journal. Then I decided just to keep it strictly for when I do things for my social media. Here is my title page for this coming month. Let's see if I can get in a little closer for you. I can show you this part and then it's all the secret stuff behind here. But to separate from month to month, I've decided to make a title page. So then I will know how much information I have put down and what worked for me. I can look back in like in October, and if a certain checklist worked for me, I'll recopy it and use it again. This particular piece of artwork is by Shauna Klingerman. Illustrated Faith stamps. This stamp is from Mandy Ford. This character is by me, and then this little one is by a lady that does a magazine, in like paper magazine, but also digital, called Retro Mama. I'll link them all below so you can go check them out for yourself. So this sets me up for my positivity of what I'm going to do in the coming month. Alrighty, on to book 2. This is a paint diary by Midori. It has MD paper. See if the camera can catch that for you. This one, I had a clever idea back last December when I spotted this on a website, and it was very obscure. I looked on YouTube videos seeing who else was doing anything with it, and there was just one advertisement for the company itself. All it is it tells you that it's a monthly schedule between October 21st through January 23, or 2021, not 21st. And this is all it is. It's just month after month after month of that. Then they have some habit trackers, some birthday things, books, movies, a money tracker, and then some paper in the back for you to do whatever you want to do with it. That has the lines for those Midori large stamps if you are an owner of one of those. So my brilliant idea was that I was going to use it to dedicate it to the day of type of the odd and days that we know that we celebrate. Like October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's also Dyslexia Month. It's Coming Out Month, No Bra Day, Teddy Bear Day. You get the picture. So I thought this would be a lot of fun for me to just be creative in a different way. I kept up with it pretty much until about May. Life got in the way. I don't exactly remember. I sketched it, but then I didn't paint it. Then I picked it up again in June, and then I stopped in July. So I had July through January. Well, I realized I already started using this in October, so I don't want to stress myself out by doing October, November, and December again. Will I go back and do September and August and July and go back to May and finish this? I love this one. This was going to be like a wanted poster. Have you seen this sock? Because it's Lost Sock Day on May 9th. Now you know. This paper is really, really yummy. It holds the watercolor and it holds fountain pen ink very well, besides some other, I don't know if I tested any other pens in here. But to me, it was useless. If I had a job and needed just to write down things or check off things, maybe I would use it again. One cool thing about it, it came in this little holder, a flap here and a flap here with a little pocket. And then it came with this little zipper pouch where you could put your odds and ends in. I never used it because I never took it anywhere. I might reuse the holder part again with an A5 size, but I am not going to repurchase this for next year. And I'm not going to throw it away either because of all this yummy paper back here. I'll probably carefully cut it out and then reuse it by making maybe a different type of journal. So this one is on the no list. On to book 3. This cover might look a little familiar to you because I've fused this with my spring edition Hobonichi. Well, I'm going to show you my Hobonichi, and it got too fluffy for its own good to be in this cover because I really liked how I was able to put a pen through here and here to kind of keep it together. So I am going to use it for a different book. I'm going to keep my Stalogy book in here, which I started out in January, which I was going to go and dutifully sketch or draw every day, either in pencil, my watercolors, maybe acrylics to see if acrylics works on here, or even charcoal, because I have some charcoal left over from a long time ago. Well, I did very well until June. I didn't even color this in, where I wrote "Summer is in the air." I just did a couple pages, and this is my very last one when I did this little shadow work drawing of my dog. That's the only downside I find of this particular book. This is an A5. I love the paper. I love how the watercolor works with it. You can go on both sides. You might have a little shadowing, but you will with thin paper like this. It took, let's see, besides the watercolor, when I did some sketching, let me see if I can bring the camera down a little for you so you guys can see it. Some sketching, you could erase the lines you didn't want, and it didn't leave any smear marks or anything like that. So I am going to start using this still for next year. I might just put a cover page type of thing here, you know, saying welcome 2023, kind of like what I did here in the front. But remember, sticky notes are journaler's best friend. So I wrote a sticky note here saying, keep using for sketching. So that's giving me a positive vibe of like, don't give up. You did the best you could. Usually people use this for scheduling or for notes when they write every single day, because there's supposed to be a piece of paper in here for every single day. So that is this one, and what is keeping me on track for still allowing myself to use this for sketching is this particular quote that I put in here by Arthur Ashe. It reads, "Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can." So for me, not being able to complete and have 12 months of sketches in here is okay. I will try again next year. On to book 4. This is my sketchbook that I received last December from my husband. It is a book that you can use watercolors, acrylics, pens, pencils, any type of thing you want. It has like hardcover on both sides, and it's blank, so then you can decorate either side of it if you want. I decided to keep it blank for right now because nothing came to mind for me to decorate the covers. I'll give you a quick flip through. These are some of the things that I did create over the past year. I really enjoyed this. I used acrylic paint, and then I went back with a white gel marker to make the markings. I was practicing some rainbows on this page. This was during the Autism Awareness Month, so I was trying to create my own infinity sign. I was practicing with some other watercolors, adding water, like spraying it, or that might be some little grains of salt too. I was practicing that. To me, it looks like the ocean. Here are some cacti. I have these Japanese watercolors that I was using, so instead of making them really thin, I just doused my brush and just tried to see how far it would go before it went light. Like you can tell here how it went dark and then nothing there. I really like how that one turned out. Here's another one that I created a doodle and then went back with my watercolors and colored it in where I felt that it needed to be colored in. Some of this is like blown. I don't know if you guys, I'm from the 70s educational system, and I guess to keep us busy and occupied during art time, they would show us to put paint on paper and then give us each a straw and blow it around on the paper. And it was until you got dizzy pretty much. So that's what these marks are like for. I even did a sampling of a gift set of pens that were given to me. Now these next couple pages are really interesting. I gave myself my own challenge of doodling, but doodling just with one color. So I got my markers out and just picked different colors and didn't even sketch it out first. I usually sketch out in pencil, then trace. This was pick a color and just doodle the page until you feel that it is complete. So these is kind of a red, bright green, purple. Let me move this over so you can see a little more. There we go. And this blue, let's see, I think I did one more. Yeah, and then this hot pink. This is from journaling with me during October, if you guys were around for that. If not, there's a video on my channel. You can go back and look at it and see how I created this. Then there's a lot of blank pages because I was doing other things in other journals, and that's okay. That's the one great thing about an art journal. You could come back and use it anytime. There's no set time stamp saying you better use it by this date. Here's some other things that I created. If you follow me over on Instagram, I have 2 links to this one and the next one I'll show you. I turned these into coloring pages for you. Magic is everywhere. And let's see if I'm flipping it. Am I flipping it the wrong way? And let's see. Here's the other one. Magic. She's not ordinary. She is magic by this Adrian Michael. So if you go over onto Instagram and click on the bio, there will be 2 links there with the title of Magic. I think she's magic, and then the other one. And you can download those and color them. If you do, I would love to see what you guys create with them. Make sure to tag me so I can check them out. And the final thing in this particular one is this collage. There, you guys can see it. I was on a live Zoom over the summer, and they gave us a challenge. And the challenge was a 90-second collage. You weren't supposed to think about anything. All they did is say travel. That was the theme. So I grabbed as many things as I could. They gave us like maybe a minute to gather supplies. They said, okay, it's travel. You know, they gave, I think, a 2-minute timer. Said, pick what you want. Then they set the clock again for only 90 seconds. And they said, go. And so this is what I came up with, 90 seconds. I didn't think about it at all. I didn't even use scissors. This is napkin that I pulled apart and ripped. And then this outline of the new magazine, I just tore it. And these were already cut out the way they were. And I thought that was pretty cool. So maybe I'll give myself some more challenges like that in 2023. There's no con for this particular one except for maybe the size. I never have taken this with me anywhere. And when I start doing more things, I know I'll get a lot more fluffy in there. But the pro is that it uses all different mediums. Book number 5. This is a twofer. When I first discovered, and I just recently discovered, that you don't have to buy a huge bottle of ink if you're a fountain pen user or you use it for drawing. By the way, happy Fountain Pen Day. I was recording this on Happy Fountain Pen Day. So for all the fellow fountain pen lovers, happy Fountain Pen Day. I got myself a Traveler's Company passport size to just do ink splotches in. Then I went to an event in July that I've spoken to numerous times in my other videos, and they had a table in the back where everything like you really didn't want anymore, you plopped on the table and then it was up for grabs. And I saw Hobonichi. I didn't even know what it was. I just grabbed it because I knew it had that wonderful Tomy River paper in it. It's outdated, but it's day-free. And I went, oh, this will be perfect to expand my ink sampling. I have shown you videos before, but just to show you a little closer, this one, I didn't really know what I was doing. And at the same time, there's no right or wrong way of giving or doing ink samples. Like these dots, I've used a Q-tip. I was using different nibs before I got my glass pen. I would just, you can see it's pretty self-explanatory. So I think I will keep this. I still have that many pages left in it. But what I think I will do is that I was in a ink sample swap recently that was hosted by Simone, who is here on YouTube and Instagram. And I will put those samples in here, but I think I'll keep this with me so when I go to pen stores, there's some pen stores that will allow you to test their inks in the store. And then I could just do a quick sample saying, yeah, I don't like it. Oh, yeah, I like it. Then maybe I'll buy a sample from them or maybe a whole vial. So as I said, this is this day-free old Hobonichi, but it has this yummy, yummy paper in it. And I started to swatch this again. I have a video here that shows you the flip through, but I just wanted to show you. I think I did my swapping one. I'm not sure if I did my swapping here, or it might be in my Hobonichi, my cousin Hobonichi. But I chose some poems from Shel Silverstein and passages from my favorite book, The Princess Bride. I learned from Simone that, oh, sorry, now you guys can see it. I learned from Simone that you do like one time, so you can swab it, and then when it dries, do it again to see if it gets darker or lighter. I do little splotches here. I do crisscross marks. This one was really cool though because there was black in it, and I didn't see that until it did that. So that's what I'm doing in this one. Other people, they will do testings and like put it on a paper and then put it in the water and see how much other things that I don't really understand at this moment about the ink. I just thought this was a fun way of showing off my collection of my little samples that I have. And then when I want to go use one for a certain project, I can come in here and say, oh, I have this Sailor Texas. I want to use it. Or no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. So that is for my swatching. I'm going to use both of them still in 2023. Book number 6. I shared this at the beginning of the year also. It was set up for one project. That fizzled out in 3 months. It wasn't for me. It didn't call to me to continue it. Yet I spent a lot of money on this paper. It's MD paper, also by Midori. Kind of a running theme here. I wasn't going to get rid of it, but I'm like, I have to use it. I'm not just going to put it on my bookshelf and leave it there forever and ever. So what I did is I turned it into a collage type of book. I did tear out the first couple signatures that had the project because I didn't want that as a negative reminder for me saying that I wasn't good at it or I didn't accomplish it. It was a learning experience and I'm glad I did it. So I put down like a little note to myself back in February of how I wanted to use this. So I have a lot of happy mail at times that come to me. The first couple pages are particularly from one of my friends. Her name is LaQuisha Hall. She goes by Confidence Canvas here on YouTube and also Instagram. You need to go check her out. She does a lot of wonderful things with journaling. And so I just sat down one day and just started creating montages of however I wanted it. I also was gathering things from magazines. I had some old papers, stickers. I love letter stamps because you can use them over and over again. But the stickers, once you've spelled out so many words, you can't really use them again. And then you get less and less of them, if you know what I mean. So I decided to use them in here. $1.25 store. I decided I had these. I thought they were cute, but I never really used them. So I just put down the whole page and then scrubbed over them to put them onto the page because I didn't know what else I was going to do with it. This is from the $1.25 store too. It's one of those kid sticker book things, I think for the holidays. This particular one, I didn't add anything else. I just wanted the printable to shine by itself. This artwork is by another friend of mine. Her name is Shauna Klingerman. She is here on YouTube and also Instagram. You should go check out her feed also. Very creative woman. Just some stickers I got. This was an envelope. Let me see if I can get a little closer. This absolutely gorgeous envelope. She put a little sticker here that had my address on it. And I couldn't get rid of it. I'm just like, no, this has to stay in my collection. So finally I said, you know what? I'm just going to tape it in here so it'll stay safe. Here's some more items I got through Happy Mail. These are things that were in my All Things Mixed Media tub that I have. And so I just decided, I really liked this, didn't know what to do, so I just grabbed a couple things, and this is what I came up with. Here are some more items from Happy Mail. I had a friend that collects these type of things. This is actually someone's old handwriting that they collect and use for their collaging. And I noticed that there were certain words over and over again, so I thought that was kind of clever that I just did that to, you know, emphasize the word. There was the word you a lot, and then happy and glad, and this one said always. And then I thought maybe it's a conversation between these two people. Just other items. I've done some books where I rip out the pages and make other collages out of them. So this was ongoing. I didn't do it every day. I didn't do it every month, as you can tell. This particular book was made for every single day. That's the only downside, but it's not a downside because it was up to me and my creativity that I wanted to do this. So for sure, I'm going to continue using this in 2023. Number 7, I didn't want to invest the money in purchasing a Hobonichi Weeks, and then if I didn't like it, that would be wasteful. I might have turned it into an ink swatching or a collage book, but I watched many videos of different creators where they just fell in love with it and they used it for their daily planning due to being a student or having a job. So I did a hack. This particular book is, you can find on Amazon. I didn't like it. I was going to use it for tracking my health when I went to my acupuncturist. In the beginning of it, it's kind of like a Hobonichi where they give you the months. See, I only did 1 month, where they give you the months, and then the rest is weeks. These designs are actually by one of my friends. Her name is Talia. I will mark her down below. She has a Etsy shop and she's on Instagram. It was just too small for me. this part was too small, this was too small. I just looked at the blank pages and said, okay, what else can I use this for? What if I just blanked out all of the days of the week and used this for some type of journaling? The paper was nice. It took ink and everything fine. It's nice and sturdy. It just wasn't for me. I will not be using this in 2023. Book number 8. This might look familiar if you were watching me in October. This is my Archer and Olive. I bought it about 2 years ago. I did an Archer and Olive before and I stopped using it due to the fact that I realized I was spending more time trying to decorate the pages, make every spread look pretty, and not put down my thoughts or anything else that I felt that was beneficial to me, my mental health, my creativity. I love Archer and Olive. I love their thickness of their paper. It's 160. It holds up to acrylic. It holds up to watercolor. Don't want to get your pages really wet, but you can use watercolor, pencils, crayons, markers, anything, black markers. If you've been with me in October, like I just mentioned, you can go back and watch that video and see how I did some testing here of different ones. I just recently added these pens here that I received from my birthday, some microliners in this particular color, and it worked super duper good. So I'm looking forward to using those in this book later on. I can't really flip through it because once I did my before the pen thing, it gets personal stuff, but I will re-show you my October calendar. I'm currently still working on my sketches for November. Once that is put in here, I will do a little flip through for you in a future video. But this is a great book. This is an A5 size. Usually, if you do journal in them in every single day, it might last you about approximately 3 months. But I know some creatives that it lasts them almost 6 months, just depending on how often you use it. This cover is not Archer and Olive. I got it from when I got my other one I just showed you. Because of the cloth, I didn't want anything to get yucky or gooky on it. As you can see, I've gotten some nasties on the clear cover. So only downside, because this cover's not from Archer and Olive, I cannot use this strap and I can't really access the pocket back here, which is okay by me. So yes, I will continue using this Archer and Olive in 2023. The very last one, I was saving my Hobonichi for last. Look how fluffy she's gotten. Look at that. And the Hobonichi Techo has months, weeks, and then daily pages. Started in April, and it actually goes through February of next year. I don't know if I'll be using the daily pages in January and February. I did the months. I didn't really write anything on the months because I do not have a job at this time where I have to write, important things on a schedule. I did it more for decorative. So let me bring the camera in just a little so you guys can see it better. I decorated these pages the next couple months from the same artist. I will link her down below. And I just thought it was kind of a cute way of showing off the months. I sometimes will go back if there's like a family birthday or an important date. I might write it in here, but I use an electronic calendar to keep track of family events. That's the only way that works for our family. But I wanted just to have something pretty to look at. Now, when I showed you the first time of my weeks, I told you I was using the weeks for personal journaling. Let's see if I can get to a page where you can see what the weeks looks like if this is your first time seeing it. I can show you this one. I belong to Job's journaling Patreon group, and we had a Zoom meeting with him the day before Halloween, and he designed these little printables for us to use. And it was really cute because some of them are Halloweeny, and then some of them he asked, what are your worst things? So like a smudge or dry out glue or bent tip of it, a nib for a pen, the ugly stamp or wrong date. And I've done this before, dipping my pen into my coffee cup instead of the water. This is my own design. Her name is Hope. She wanted to wear her witch's costume to the party. And so this is, I would use for personal writing, but as you can see, these columns are very narrow. They're numbered from morning all the way to the next morning. And it just didn't work for me for my personal journaling. I decided to do something else. But as I've shown you in other videos, I have used this to keep track of things that I've gotten in Happy Mail or if I've ordered from somewhere. And I just put those items in here. So I'll just go through here just to show you a couple pages. I don't want to be redundant from other videos, but this is what I did. Or if something I did that was really exciting, like I finally was able to ride my bike again and went for 18 kilometers, which was very exciting. We did it again, almost 20 kilometers that day. So oh, wait a minute. Is this it? No, this isn't. Let's go to October. You guys haven't seen October yet. This is one of my original designs. I drew it and then I tried it out on Procreate because I wanted to make some stickers for my friends. And so then I decided to practice drawing her again and my Hobonichi. So for the first week of October, kind of a witchy theme. Just different ways of doing it. I really would love to have this broom, or maybe just the ribbon. It's so pretty. So here's some more. Then we found out that Angela Lansbury passed away, and one of my favorite movies that she was in was Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. So I did a little montage to represent her passing. It's kind of sad because look, she almost made it to her birthday, the 16th. So this I thought was really neat. This was from an order I just got. This is an original design of my own. And then Haggard died. I know not Haggard, but the actor that played him. But the actor was so well known as the character Haggard, I thought I'd give his little montage towards Haggard. No good sitting and worrying about it. What coming will come, and what will meet it when it does. Here's that ink swap that I mentioned earlier when I was talking about my ink swapping or my ink swatching book. See that really fast. This is from my partner, and these are the inks that she sent me. And my most favorite one, you would think would be the Rising Reflections, because I really love this color yellow, but it was this Blushing Mushroom. See if I can get a little closer so you guys can see it. I don't know if it picks up the reflections as I do this, but it's like this really light purple, periwinkle blue, and then some shimmerings. I didn't think I would be really into shimmering ink, but these inks definitely changed my mind. So that's the reason I put it in here, because this was the date that it arrived. I kept this intentionally blank because of the ink swapping, even though I've done coloring and, you know, back-to-back watercolor on these pages. I just wanted to make sure that nothing popped through on this side. I was studying up about lavender, so I decided to write about it. Here is from the BFF Sticker Club on Instagram. Lillian was my partner for October. These are just little samples of all the pages of the stamps or stickers she sent me. If you want to see more about that, go over on my Instagram feed. I have a reel about it. It's kind of cute. Here is a Halloween card from my friend Missy. She really likes Halloween like I do, and I didn't want to put this away and not be able to see it again while I'm still using this, so I plopped it in there. I wasn't able to put all of my Halloween cards in here. I do have a Halloween journal that the rest of them ended up in because they were so creative. I just had to keep them. This is from my pen pal in the UK, Melanie. She sent me a birthday card. I was all hot to trot to do a journal, or like a junior journal, when we went to Minnesota for the weekend. I just all of a sudden decided to put and scrap that idea. I really enjoyed our time there, driving around, you know, just soaking up the scenery. We all took pictures, yet I didn't feel the need that I needed to put anything on the paper here. So I just wrote visited. We ended up at TJ's first because we love going to Trader Joe's. But I just enjoyed the weekend instead of worrying about, oh, I have to put that on paper. Then it was World Postcard Day on the 1st of October. And here are 2 cards that were given to me by pen pals of mine. And the same lady that gave me this, Heidi, she gave me a birthday postcard. These 2 days, I just couldn't think of anything. So what I did is I just left them blank. And that's okay. Why? Because it's my story, my journal, my life. Here's another birthday card from Lulu. She sends me a card every year. And she loves putting these confetti in it. So I'm like, I'm going to remember that by gluing the confetti here. This is from another crafty friend, Jenny. We were Missy, Jenny, and I think Barbie, and one more. We were all involved in a card swap. Michelle, she was my other partner. And I couldn't not just put these cards away. So yeah, here's Michelle's. Now this is all handmade. She cut out everything, which I think is just amazing. This one is from Melanie in the UK. She loves creating cards also. And I always put the stamps that she uses. I don't know if you can see them. Let's see if we can get a little closer just for a second. I love the stamps she uses, so I always keep those in my journal. If not in my journal, I keep them in my mixed media tub so I can use them for something else. Here's Barbie's card. Now check this out. This is art by Barbie. She has what they call a jelly plate. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I'm not very familiar with that form of art myself, but it's like this silicone plate, as I'm doing this hand sign, like you would know what this means. Anywho, you would put paint on it, you scrape it, whatever you want to do, and then you put a piece of paper and roll it over it and then peel it off and you get this design, whatever the design is. And so she sent me a couple samples of her work. And this one I kept in here because I thought it matched perfectly with the card she sent me. And that is it for October. Now I'm going to do November. I'm going to do drawings. There is a lady over on Instagram that's doing a gnome a day challenge. And I'm filming this on the 4th. So you're like, oh my goodness, you're 4 days behind. No, I'm not. I personally don't think you're ever behind. It's when you need to do it or when you can do it. So I'm going to print out the little paper that she or not paper. It will be on paper. I'll print out the little thing where she gave all of the suggestions for the month. And then I'm going to sketch them. And then I'll go back at my leisure. Just like what I did in August. Let's see, August. Where's August? What I did for August when Penguin Creative hosted a Hobonichi drawing letter a day. And that's how I was able to keep up with it. And that's how it kept me staying creative without stressing out. Will I continue using a Hobonichi Cousin for 2023? No, I'm not. I wanted to try it. I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I've had this experience. My goal is to at least go through the daily pages to December, up into the January. If I feel the urge, I might finish January, February. I'll let you guys know. If not, just like those other booklets I have. I'm going to keep this paper because this paper is just so yummy. I'm not going to get rid of it, but I might carefully cut it out and use it in something else. So no, I will not be using this in 2023. Thank you for watching, and remember, messy hands, happy life. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.